Yo, today is May 5th, 2026, Cinco de Mayo. I watch the Detroit Pistons versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Los Angeles Lakers. This is straight off the muscle. Just got back from watching the games. I have thoughts on the whole playoffs. Shout out Cade. Go Pokes. Shout out Cade. Anyway, new setup. It's been a minute. Sorry for the mirror in the back. Golf clubs in the back. I got the TV in the back. I'm sorry. Just want to be real with y'all. Give y'all my predictions for the playoffs. This is just my raw, uncut thoughts. Nothing written down. Usually I write something down, but I'm just off the muscle. Out today. It's inspiration from Cameron. That's how I'm feeling today. Inspired by a true sports analyst. Saw him on First Take. Inspired me to get back on here and do what I need to do. Number one. I was talking about this last year as a Pacers fan. The Thunder are the only 60-win team I've ever seen in my life to be not talked about or overlooked or anything. And going into the playoffs, this was the case. It's Shea hatred, whatever, however you feel about that. I'm not even going to get on that. But regardless of the fact, nobody was talking about the Thunder, which is cool. What are they, 5-0 now? Swept the Suns. Beat the Lakers tonight by a handy amount. Shea cold. The team cold without J-Dub, by the way. AJ Mitchell is cold. Anyway, that's enough about the Thunder because we know that's the problem with the Thunder. We say that. We say that's enough because we know what they did. And they came to do what they did and they did it and we be enough. But cool. They're great. Good to enough for them in the later rounds, hopefully. The Detroit game. K didn't shoot the ball particularly well tonight, but what he did do was make the Detroit Pistons better at basketball. Which was great to see. Asar Thompson is a freak of nature. His mama must have had the super soldier serum in there when she was pregnant with the twins because there's something wrong with them and their legs. There's something going on in there. James Harden disappointed me tonight. Donovan Mitchell disappointed me tonight. The lack of aggression. Donovan Mitchell in the Utah Jazz uniform was one of the most aggressive players I've ever seen. Jared Allen can't get a rebound. He doesn't want to box out Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren does whatever he wants. Ron Holland can't shoot the ball. I don't think players or teams particularly draft players nowadays, guards or forwards, that can't shoot. For the most part, obviously you have your Dyson Daniels, the twins, as I just mentioned. And yeah, this is typically not, in 2026, that's just not the recipe to win, but some teams make it work. And Detroit made it work tonight. Cleveland really has to be more aggressive. Jared Allen had gotten foul trouble, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he had 4 fouls in the third quarter. James Harden was turning the ball over at a crazy clip. No, I don't know. I just wasn't moved watching Cleveland. Does Donovan Mitchell want to win? I'm not going to say it's disrespectful. But shoot it 40 times, Donovan. That's what I want to see. Go out on your sword. And he did not, and I was disappointed. Cade played well, and he was willing to go out on his sword. If the Pistons would have lost, Cade's shooting percentage may have looked bad, but he got him up. So, it's more than Donovan Mitchell. The rest of the playoffs, the Knicks beat the Sixers. This is supposed to be unbiased commentary, but I do not want the Knicks to win. I do not. Not because of the Knicks players, but because of the New York Knicks fans are equivalent, in my opinion, to Philadelphia Eagles fans. A lot of them are terrible people, and if they do win, and when they do win, Philly, for example, they why do you destroy when you win? When Philly wins, it's literally going to be a riot. They're going to destroy things. It's going to be terrible, and the people are going to be more hateful than they already are. The Knicks haven't won since Bernard King, if I'm not mistaken, and Knicks fans are some of the worst people you're ever going to meet, and therefore they do not deserve to win, in my opinion. I hope they never win as long as they behave this way. And quite frankly, I was pissed when Philly won 2 times because you don't deserve this, because you are terrible people. It's just facts. But shout out to the good Knicks fans and to the realists and to the shout out Spike Lee. I'll just say that. Embiid's gonna have to carry these boys. Maxey, obviously, Edgecombe is a rookie, so it's his first playoff series or playoffs years ever. He's never been here, so it's not his fault if they lose because he's a rookie. He's never been here. But we need Maxey and Embiid and Paul George to ramp it up, or they're going to lose in 5 games, 6 games, because Brunson's going crazy. Brunson's nice. OG and Anunoby's nice. Mikal Bridges, he played worth the contract yesterday. I was thoroughly impressed. Yeah, thoroughly. The Knicks played very well, and I really do like the Knicks players, but I really do not like the fans. I don't want to see the Knicks in the finals because the fans are going to be awful, inconsolable. They're going to be terrible. But cool. Go. I do like the Knicks. Shout out John Stark. Shout out Patrick Ewing. Shout out Charles Oakley. Shout out Clyde Frazier. Shout out all them Knicks legends. When I was a kid, I wasn't born, but I remember learning who they was when I was a kid, and I learned they never won, and I wanted them to win because I felt they deserve it. But then I grew up, and I learned that Knicks fans are bad people, and bad people, in my opinion, don't deserve to win. It's just me. But it's sports, so who cares who deserves? Sports. You win, the best team wins. And if the Knicks are the best team, they're going to win. I do like Mike Brown and Josh Hart and Cat and OG and Mikal and each other. I like the team. Just not the fans. Anyway, let's talk about Anthony Edwards. Yeah. If you watch that game, it's impressive. I mean, the guy played, 15 minutes going into the fourth, comes into the fourth and kills. He's shooting step-back threes over Wemby, who they're not calling goaltending on. He's fearless. Handled the double teams well. He had a terrible turnover at the end of the game, and he manned up and recognized it at the end. That was nice. Julius Randle closed the game. Julius Randle kept him in the game because Ant played. He was on minutes restriction. Julius Randle really carried the weight for the Timberwolves. I was thoroughly impressed by Julius Randle's performance. I really was. But those are the series. Thunder, Lakers, Sixers. Hold on. I'm gonna circle back to the Sixers. We got the Knicks. We got the Knicks. I was just talking about the Knicks and the Sixers. Yeah. And then it was the Cavs and the Pistons, and then it was the Spurs, the Timberwolves, and the Lakers and the Thunder. Let me know who y'all think will win the chip. The Thunder are the clear favorites. They look like it tonight. Because even realistically, let's say the best team. Let me not skip over the West. If the Thunder or the Timberwolves beat the Spurs, and the Thunder play the Timberwolves in the West Conference Finals, I do think that the Timberwolves, I don't know who matches up better, the Timberwolves or the Spurs. Not looking past the Lakers, but with no Luka, Austin Reeves shot the ball like poo-poo tonight, so it's going to happen again because you throw Lou Dort on him, or for example, this is hypothetical, but you throw Lou Dort, then you throw Caruso, and then you throw Cason Wallace, just for example. So even if he gets it going hot, good luck shooting over 2 people all night, buddy. And even if LeBron starts going off, then they'll just switch it. The Thunder are that talented. They are that deep. Jalen Williams played very well tonight. J. Will thoroughly impressed me. He played hard, took charges. Caruso was banging himself in the head. What's wrong with him? Anyway, it's going to have to be a Western Conference opponent to beat the Thunder. Is what I'm hinting at. It's basically what I'm saying. The Knicks, do they match up well versus the Thunder? No. No. They're going to double team Shea, and by that time, Dub going to be back. And Brunson can't guard. And what, you're going to leave Lou Dort open and hope he beats you? They know to figure that out. So that's not going to work. And Cat and Brunson on the floor at the same time, it's just not the best. So it's just not, that just doesn't make sense to me. Philly, if they get past the Sixers, Chet or Hartenstein ain't guarding Embiid. And you can't double Embiid because Maxey is really good at basketball. But that's if they beat the Knicks, so that doesn't really matter. Detroit, they're not deep enough to beat the Spurs or the Timberwolves or the Thunder. It's got to be a Western Conference opponent. The Cleveland, if they play like they play tonight, the Thunder gonna 30 about them. It's gonna be a sweep in the finals, and nobody wants to see that. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. The playoffs have been good so far. The first round was amazing. I missed the first round. The Toronto Raptors thoroughly impressed me. Good young core. They played without Emmanuel Quickley. RJ Barrett is not. So we'll have to figure that out. And for Darko and them boys in Toronto, good season. That's what Scotty said. Success. Phoenix. I was saying this before when KD got there and the Bradley Beal. You don't have a point guard. You can't name me a team in the modern NBA to win a championship without a point guard. Maybe the Warriors, but Draymond is the point guard. The screens and the off-ball action, Draymond takes the ball off the court. Draymond gets the team in the motion. He was. So he is the point guard. Shea is the point guard of the Thunder. Jokic is the point guard of the Nuggets, or when they win a championship. He's the floor. You don't win games without a point guard or floor general. And the Suns continue. Ishbia is insane by definition because you continue to, or the GM, but you know, whatever. What are we doing in Phoenix? What are we doing? Devin Booker ain't aggressive. You trying to make Devin Booker a point guard? When has Devin Booker been a point guard? And I'm a huge fan of Devin Booker, but then I get online and I see him being slandered because he's not aggressive. He's pump faking. He don't take the midi. He don't get to his spot like he was 3-4 years ago. And Devin Booker ain't old. Anyway, watching the Suns is very infuriating. Devin Booker's not a point guard. Devin Booker is a 2. And that's his job and his role and his position. Let Devin Booker shoot the ball 15 times a night. That's what you get Devin Booker for. Not to facilitate. Even if you trade for... Why didn't the Suns try to get Dennis Schroeder? Why didn't the Suns try to get... They could have used Chris Paul. James Harden. Darius Garland. Sure, maybe they cost too much money, and the Suns, even their cap, their draft capital, their whole joke. Championshipless. Shout out Charles Barkley and Steve Nash and Amar Stoudemire and Sean Miriam and Grant Hill and Barbosa Leonardo and Raja Bell. I love the Suns, but they're unserious as a franchise. Maybe that's just Phoenix sports. I don't know about hockey, football, and basketball. Cardinals are the worst team in professional sports. They're a joke. They're the oldest team in professional sports without a ring, but whatever. Phoenix really angers me. I hate when professional franchises are a joke, and they are. Who else? Houston. Are they going to run it back with Fred? We'll see what happens, I suppose. I think if they did have a true point guard instead of Amin trying to run the one, maybe it could have been better. So we'll see. And Ime Udoka is a good coach. They're well coached, and I do believe that. Cheated on Nia Long, which just wasn't wise, but Orlando lost. Tricky spot. Orlando needs a Ja Morant or something to. Franz was hurt, but does Franz get you over the hump to win a championship as your number two? No, you need a perennial all-star as a number two option to win a championship. I believe that. Maybe not perennial. Well, let me think. It's hard to win a championship. Most players have another, you know what I'm saying? And it's difficult. Jamal Murray is the one that's popping in my head, but when the playoffs come around back then, or years prior, Jamal Murray's game so it makes him that. J-Dub dropped 40 in the finals. Brown, Tatum, Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond, LeBron, AD. So it's just not gonna happen. So Orlando has decisions to make. They fired the coach, which I did like. Anyway, Paulo didn't like him either, I guess. Portland, exciting. Shout out Tristan Crick. Exciting. I'm excited for the future. Scoop, show me something. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for Portland. Boston was just running back. Just running back. Draft somebody, maybe make a trade. It's Boston. You'll be fine. But yeah, man. And ladies, I don't want to say who's going to beat the Thunder. I don't want y'all to think I'm glazing the Thunder or I'm some Thunder fan, but I'm just being realistic. They're the best team in the league, and they have been from the jump. So Spurs or Timberwolves going to have to knock them off. The Lakers can't do it with no Luka. And nobody in the East is doing it either. So, yeah, there's that. I'm glad I did it. I'm back. Shout out Kate. I hope they do. I hope the Pistons go to the finals. That'd be fun. Go Pokes. But who do I think is going to come out of these? I think we're going to see Detroit versus New York in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not picking a winner. And in the East or West, we're going to see OKC versus... Is Anthony okay? Can Ant play like this for 7 games? I don't have to make a sure decision right now, so I'm not. We're gonna see. Unless I did previously in the video. If I did, that's tough. But yeah, that's my take. Try to be more consistent as the playoffs come, because they come and go every time, and it's sad every time. June's almost here already, and when it happens, we're gonna be excited, but I'm gonna be sad when it goes. And then there's gonna be no football or any basketball. I have been watching hockey playoffs. I like the Canadians, Montreal. I like them. The Knights. I like the Knights. The Hurricanes, the Carolina Hurricanes. Been watching them. They won in overtime last night on the 4th of May in 2026. That was cool. Big golf news as well. I'm pretty sure, I think it was Jon Rahm joined the PGA back today, or something. Live boo boo, and they see it. Because what sense does it make to play against lesser competition and then come to the PGA to play in the majors? But that has to do something when you're not playing against these guys all year. You get better playing against the competition. I know the check is what it is in live, but what are you playing for? Money or... But yeah. Go Pokes. Go Colts. Anthony Richardson reported to voluntary OTAs after demanding a trade. Honestly, if we play AR until Daniel Jones gets back, even if we lose, this is not a football video. But yo, I had a good time making this. I didn't think it was going to go on this long, but please like, subscribe. Be back soon.